Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Yes, so good to have you here once again, and I must say that I do miss you all. I must apologize because I had intended to upload this video from a long time, but due to circumstances, the struggles of life, trying to manage work and challenge at the same time. Now, today we'll be looking at a rather interesting topic, and the topic is understanding the characteristics of cults. Now, there's a video that I had done very early in this channel, on this channel, that I uploaded last year, that is titled Why I Have an Apologetics Ministry on Cults. You may want to watch that video when you have the time, in your own spare time, right? You can watch that video along with this. After you have watched this, then you can watch that video. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'll be looking at this subject from a book titled Stolen Mind, Understanding Cults, written by Michael Scoback. I took some pictures from the book. I have it on PDF file on my phone, right? I screenshot it, and I'm going to post the pictures here on the screen, so you can have a look at it, and after which we will talk about it. So with no further ado, check it out. Yes, so the first pick, it tells you about the three characteristics, right? Of course, one, they have a self-appointed leader who exploits the group's members. Two, deception in the recruitment process. Three, psychological and emotional manipulation to consolidate members in the group, to consolidate membership in the group. Now, regarding the third point, I'll have to do another video. That will be after this, right? I'm going to do another video on that in my next video, right? Because that aspect of it is very broad, and I couldn't do it. I cannot incorporate that into this video. You understand? Now, regarding these characteristics, the first point, most cults have a self-appointed authoritative leader who is accountable to no one. Some groups may have a core leadership consisting of several people, such as the Jehovah's Witness or the Watchtower's Armed Society, right? Some groups may have a core leadership consisting of several people, sometimes members of one family. Leaders often claim to have special knowledge, powers, or unique vision or visions. In the case of Ellen White and Joseph Smith from the Mormons Church, and Ellen White is from the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So they generally claim to have some special knowledge, powers, or unique vision. And this special knowledge, is knowledge that only they alone have, Like in the case of SDA, right, and Ellen White. The investigative judgment, apparently only they alone have that knowledge, and that only they alone could actually see such a thing in the Bible. You understand? But if you had check out my studies where that is concerned, and my playlist, you'll realize that such a teaching doesn't exist. It's a fallacious teaching of the scriptures. You understand? That is not biblical, right? Now, to continue on this, if it is a religious group, they may claim to be extraordinary prophets with a special relationship to God, or possess a particular truth accessible only to them. Again, example, investigative judgment, and diet gospel. That's from Ellen White, and from Charles T. Russell, you probably have the 1919, I think it's the 1919 teaching about Armageddon and all sorts of things, and you'll find a significant amount of unique teachings that actually come from these groups. These characteristics apply in various degrees in different groups. Leaders will foster emotionally dependent relationships within the membership to exploit them for money, power, loyalty, or to ensure they donate tremendous amount of time to the group. Leaders may seek to exploit members and utilize them for their own purposes and agenda. In most cults, insidious cults, members are used to commit crimes, though in most groups, the nature of exploitation is more subtle. Leaders often have an ends justify the means approach to the ways in which they operate their groups. Now for the second point, cults engage in deception through the recruitment process because ultimately their members will be exploited in some way. No one will willingly join a group if they know in advance that they will be coerced to give up their personal freedoms. Because cults often have well-deserved bad reputations, they will use innocuous front names to disguise their true identity, and recruiters will deny any connection to the parent group. So they'll have their local seminars and so forth, and you won't see on the front of the like the highlights say Seventh-day Adventist, Jehovah's Witness, Mormons or whatever. They hide that. You understand? And you won't know that they are the one who is actually on the program. If you look on some TV programs, they don't mention the name, you just hear the teaching and you might get fascinated about the teaching and you won't know it's them. You understand? Like 3ABN, Amazing Facts, you won't know that it's Seventh-day Adventist because they don't mention it on it. You understand? And as it say, they won't tell you certain things at the forefront. It's later down the line you'll hear about it. When I just started the Seventh-day Adventist Church, I never knew about the diet gospel. It's long after I know about that. I never even know about the investigative judgments. You understand? There are several things that I never know until long after. You understand? Yeah. So the next point on this point is that the cult's deception involves not fully disclosing the group's nature or ultimate agenda. Recruiting programs will often be disguised as an innocent activity. For example, after completing the group's course of studies, members may invite friends and family to a graduation program. Attendees believe they are coming to a show to show support and celebrate a happy occasion, unaware that this event is a high-pressure recruiting opportunity organized by the cult. In most cases, the group's real beliefs and teaching will not be disclosed to those who attend initial recruiting session. Questions are often put off with the assurance we'll get to that in the future. Important information is only revealed when recruits have cemented their commitment to the group and are now considered ready to hear them. Money may be raised to help needy people, children or the homeless, but the funds will end up in the coffers of the group. People will not be told where their monies are going and often receive misleading information about their fund or how their funds are used. So the part about that they're not telling you all the details at first, trust me, that's one of the main strategy for recruitment. You won't hear the bizarre teachings at the first encounter. No, because then you're going to say, what is that? They first wanted to get their trust, you understand, and to come be a part of them, and want to believe the more gentle teachings and so forth, then that opens the door for you to receive the more bizarre ones. You understand? Next, all cults employ psychological and emotional manipulation in recruitment process, and more critically to consolidate the commitment of those who join. Their goal is to keep members dependent, loyal, and obedient. The objective is achieved by the orchestrated use of various mind control techniques that restrict personal autonomy and submerge a person's identity to that of the group. These techniques of social influence and coercive persuasion ultimately bring about thought reform and personality change. Cults employ intensive interpersonal and psychological confrontation to erode an individual's equilibrium and subsequently bring about conformity. loyalty, and compliance to the group. Success is based upon the slowly infiltrating and controlling. Success is based upon slowly infiltrating and controlling a person's behavior, sources of information, thoughts, and emotions. Some of the elements used to bring about thought reform include, before I mention that, so these are the tactics that are used to consolidate loyalty to the group. You understand? And to submerge your identity. They control your information. They try to control your behavior, your thoughts. They try to control how you think and your emotions and so forth. You understand? Now, some of the elements used to bring about thought reform include, right? And I'm not going to mention all of them because they're already there on the screen. You can just fast forward, right, or rewind, should say, and you'll see them. But the one that I want to talk about, right, is the part about guilt, shame, and fear that is used to conform person to the group. The fear part especially is what keep people trapped in the group. And to add to this, I'd add LP, so what I call LP, the ladder and paranoia. When I talk about the ladder in a cults, I often works-based orientated. You understand? They have a ladder that stretch high up to the heavens. You understand? Very hard to reach. You climb, and you can never do enough. You can never perform good enough. There is always more that needs to be done where your character and so forth is concerned. You never feel that you're enough or you have done enough. Like in the case of the investigative judgment, it demands absolute perfection. That is their ladder. You understand? Absolute perfection. So you have to be continually climbing. What this does, when a person is in such a hard works-based group, by the time you're finished working, you have no time to say you're going to check out other information. You're exhausted. You understand? You have no time to check out anything else. You have no time to reflect. You have no time to even think because you're exhausted. You understand? You have so much things to do, so much information to read from the cult and so forth. And then there's the paranoia. To give a better example of what paranoia is, let me let you check out a video. You understand? Check this out and you'll see a classical example of paranoia.
Stone Church. We prayed, listen preacher, this is the heights of ecumenism. We sang, we worship with our Adventist brothers, honoring our one true God. Our one true God. Let's finish it. We're almost done. We're almost through the agony preacher. Listen now. There was so much warmth, and remember, I'm not getting those warmth, but there was so much warmth, special attention, and good wishes being extended to all our brothers. They were really one with us. They were what? They were what with us? One. What is that? That's unity, huh? Listen to this other wording now. As the mystical body of Jesus, I don't even trust that wording, is intended to be. Jesus was the center of our what? In red words?
Unity.
Of our?
Unity.
Jesus is the foundation of our unity.
So there you have it. That's paranoia for you, right? Yes, and the next part that says personal independence is discouraged and most certainly not respected. The outside world is demeaned and the cause critics is demonized. An elitist us versus them mindset is developed. Mistrust of non-members develops and isolation becomes an inevitable consequence. Some groups will separate members from their friends and families such as the Jehovah's Witnesses. Right? So the us versus them, the elitists, we have superior knowledge. You feel so blessed that you're a part of this group. That was how I used to feel when I was a Seventh-day Adventist. So you're not going to look at other groups because you're privileged. You have no need to try out anything because you're privileged. You're in the best. You're among the best. You understand? That's the elitist, us versus them. Right? So this, with this kind of psychology, you will not want to check out anything else. You understand? And then the cult's critics is demonized. And this is a main point that you need to remember. A cult, yeah, cultists, whenever you're coming to them to the truth, you're like you may be seen as an agent of Satan. You understand? Because you're criticizing their teaching. So you have to approach them with extreme care and use tact. You understand? In order to deal with them, because this is the mind control technique and psychology that is employed in cults. You understand? And I'm going to talk more about this. You understand? In my second video, in my next video, right? Privacy is not respected. The group discovers a member's greatest fear and uses them as a manipulative tool. Public confession of of personal wrongdoings and faults also help to keep people under control. For the member who wants to leave or does not conform, the fear of surefire disaster in the outside world becomes a terrifying prospect. The group is the only place where a person can obtain constant salvation, peace, success and goodness, friendship and love. People are kept very busy and not given time to think and reflect. Group members often lose their ability to think critically as the group slowly and surely destroys this vital faculty. These extreme tactics are employed in the more totalitarian cults. Less destructive cultic groups are use more subtle methods that are more difficult to detect. You understand? So if you go out there, go to another church, you are doomed for destruction. Just go back in my video and see my part 1 and 2 and 3. I think it's either part 2 or 3. When I talk about how it was hard for me to leave because I feel that I'll be lost. You understand? I felt like I would be lost if I leave the Seventh-day Adventist Church. But thanks be to God. God led me through the scriptures and I found the errors and so forth. I jumped for joy, and that was when I actually departed from out of it. There was nothing that could help me anymore because I found the truth and the truth set me free. So there you have it. These are the dynamics of a cult. We are not through yet, you know. We are just basically at the peak now, right? Now if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment where necessary, subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon so that you can receive notifications whenever I make new uploads. And last but not least, share this video with who you know will benefit from an amazing video like this. Bye bye now.